Hello YouTubers, DEFan3 coming at you out here for the last and final updates from Elko to Oktoberfest on Saturday at La Crosse Speedway. Back-to-back videos, which is really cool, and then this is to tie those two together, plus look at the 2004 season all together. So this is pretty good. Now to get this out of the way, we got four champions I want to talk about. First, the ARCA Menards, Andres Perez. Nice job getting his first one with the two car an ARCA. That was really awesome to see. So not bad for him. So that was really awesome. The second one is for the Super Late Model Series at La Crosse Speedway on Sunday. The 91 of Tom Majewski won the race, but your champion back-to-back years, two-time champ now in the Super Late Model Series for the 15 of Gabe Somers. Nice job for him. Then your third champion is your big late model champion on Saturday of the two car out of Illinois, out of the Illinois area, and an old Czech championship driver at Rockford. Ran at Elko a couple of times at Elko Speedway. Won some races at Rockford Speedway. I think he won a few at Milwaukee. His brother Ricky drove the 22 car, and his brother drove the 2. So drives the 2. I haven't seen Ricky drive in a while, but it's the 2 of Michael Bilderback. And Ricky Bilderback is his brother. He hasn't raced in a while, but they used to run together a little bit around the Midwest area. And now your final one in my hometown track of Elko Speedway for the Czech Championship. Hasn't won one since 2012, and that was the first driver change that won the championship after Donnie Reavers won his 9 Czech Championship. The first one got it, and then I believe, and then 2013 was won by Adam Royal, and then from 2014 to 2020, and from 2014 to 2023 was the 72 of Jacob Gady for a while, but from 2012 to now 2024, your two-time Elko Czech champion driver coming out of Farmington, Minnesota in the 19 car of Jake the Snake Ryan. Nice for all 4. So nice job to those guys, and we'll see what happens next year. And out of all of them, only one drove a Ford of Gabe Somers. The rest were all Chevrolet drivers. So that was pretty cool to see. So that was pretty awesome. And talk about the Elko point stats. So it was the 19 of Jake Ryan. 21 points back was the 52 of Chad Wallen. And the 50 Steve Anderson Jr. The 31 of Racing Ryan Varner in 4th. And top 5 in the 32 car of Jeremy Wolf, my Chaska hometown driver. And then 17, 18th in points are held by the 41 at Donnie Reavers and the 75 at Joel Tyson. So not bad for that. And 27 cars made their rounds at Elko for the whole season altogether. And I went to 9 races. 6 to Elko. This is my 3rd time doing that, 6 times. So I've done it now 3. Going to Elko 6 times in one season, so I did pretty good for myself. If I went 2 more this year, I would have broke my record for 8. And I'm looking forward to doing that at some point down the line, however long they want to keep Elko open for production, until this lottery system kicks in for real estate, which God forbid. So I'm just taking it one race at a time, but it's really good to go to championship night and hear Jason Searcy over the intercom loudspeaker to say, we'll see you next year. That's when I know that we got it locked for next season at Elko. So I'm just, every championship season, I'm waiting to hear what Jason Searcy's going to say. But until I hear Raceway Park 2013 final, then I know then Elko is out the door for good. And then that's really gonna, but I just take them one season at a time, like the rest of us do. I mean, this track has been for sale since 2014. It's been in limbo for 10 years. So I'm just, it gives me the Halloween heebie-jeebies. So it's just gets me emotional when I think about it. So it's tough. So I'm just taking it one season at a time. But we'll see what happens with that. It was really good to hear that though, for Jason Searcy to say we'll see you guys next year. So thank God for that. So, so 6 times the Elko this year was a blast. And the only thing I'm bummed about for the Elko season was we had 27 cars show up for all together for 2024. I just wish we had that many show up to Thunderstruck 93 this year out of a field out of 21, which is the smallest super late model field I ever saw in my life. And I was like, damn, I wish there was more cars to see race, because I mean, hell, they were like, I think I haven't looked at the results yet. Like, I only just heard from what I heard from my buddy say, but I didn't really hear a good car count. But I'm sure it was about 20, 28, 29 cars that were at La Crosse Speedway, because the payout is more than what Thunderstruck has for Tom Ryan's for you to get $3,500. So I mean, that's pennies compared to what they give out at the La Crosse for payout. But it's just, I wish there was more to offer. I mean, and every winner that wins this thing gets a cool electric guitar with Thunderstruck 93 on it, so I like that. So that is pretty cool to work with that. But it was a good season out at Elko, minus what the wrecks were produced there between the Ryan Camish and the Tommy Peterson car with 42.99. But other than that, it was great. So just thank God Tommy Peterson's all right after he cracked his sternum. So I'm just still cutting my teeth on that one a bit. La Crosse went twice this year. I never done that before in a season, so that was cool to go to La Crosse for a regular race night, like if it was Elko, and then a championship at Oktoberfest, but on Saturday. Of course I didn't make it Sunday because of my grandfather's birthday, which was a good turnout. But I got a lock for next year, so Sunday we'll be back on rolling. But it was good to get some exposure on my YouTube channel for Saturday, because I went there once, but it was in 2016. A year before, and I actually did all 4 weekends. I did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I did the whole Oktoberfest in 2016. That would have been blowing up big if I would have gotten that on my YouTube channel, but it happened 1 year, so I didn't get that. But it was good to expose that stuff, especially the trucks. And the thing I'm really ticked off about that is that we used to do a truck race at Elko in the past. The last one we did was in 2010, and it was a day race on Sunday. And boy, would I kill to get that one on YouTube again, with the Midwest Tour late models and then the trucks together on a Sunday afternoon during daytime like it is outside here. That would be freaking awesome if that was to happen again. But I don't think they'll do a day race ever again at Elko, but I always would love to see do it just one more time, and that would be really big. And that would be a huge turnout too, and imagine the view count I would be getting on that one, so that would be pretty sweet. The ESL used to do free camping out there. They don't do that anymore either. So, that was pretty cool to see the trucks. The Mid-Am cars are always fun too. I grew up with those cars being ASA Racing Series cars from 2000 to 2004. They're still the same cars, just painted up differently, but they're still the same cars to what they were back in their heyday when they were on the TNN National Network. So that was pretty sweet. And then so that was pretty cool for that. And so then there were some other classes out there too. The Hornets division was there, and I never seen the Hornets at Elko in a long time, and I kind of like those old Volkswagen Jettas and the Chevrolet Cavaliers with their mufflers whacked off, and then you hear the loud exhaust noise out of their mufflers. So that was pretty cool, and they outlawed those at Elko a few years ago, which is kind of a bummer, but it was good to hear the high-pitched whine of those things again. So that was pretty sweet. But the Big A late models was a good turnout for that, and it was kind of cool to see the battle of the Midwest between Wisconsin and Minnesota drivers, and I freaking love that. And that was cool. And Penn Sauter did a pretty good job. I was rolling for him, and there was 2 5 cars in that race with Brandon Miller, and he did a pretty good job for that. The 11 car was really good. I have his postcard. I have to look back to see who the driver name was, but it was a cool event to see that guy win that, and then Jacob Gady got third, so not bad for the 72. I was just really bummed about his Midwest Tour car breaking in practice, and then same goes for Jonathan Island in the 77, and those guys are from Hampton, Minnesota, New Germany, Carver, Minnesota, and when you leave Minnesota, go to Wisconsin to a track that far, and your car breaks or you got a problem and you can't make the feature on Sunday, and you drive back here, that's a long heck of a haul for nothing. And that's why I'm a PlayStation 2 driver, because there's a thing called the reset button, and you can always get as many do-overs as you want. You don't have to travel nowhere. You can just do it in your TV. So that to me is a little, I can breathe easy, but I really feel bad for those guys that have to haul all that equipment out there, plus a nice shiny late model for a super late like that for how big expensive it is, and you have to haul it all the way back for nothing. That's a big bummer, and I really feel bad for both teams. And anybody for that situation, no matter who you are, that's not fun. But that is part of racing. But the thing about that though is that it gets you geared up to maybe try doing it again. So, but it'll be interesting to see what happens next year on that one. But Elko was a good season. Lacrosse was fun for twice. Seeing Jeff Partington earlier this year in the 99 yellow car was really cool, and I haven't seen that guy race in Atlanta 2017, 2016, I think it was the last time he came to Elko, and it was a red 99 car. And so that was pretty cool. I'd like to see him come to Elko with Tommy Peterson and see who has the best 99 car. Again, that'd be kind of fun to see that. So, but it was cool to see him, talk to him, and that was a lot of fun. Natalie Decker was there on Saturday with her big A-Late model car, and that was cool. And I was talking Thunderstruck 93 to her from 10 years prior, and she loved the information I had put out for that. So, and that was pretty cool. She wished my grandfather happy birthday to everybody from the track, so that was really cool to get a shout out like that. So that's sentimental to me right there. And I told her, I said it'd been really cool to see you and Haley Deegan race together at one point. That'd be kind of fun. And so that was pretty cool to talk to her, and such a sweetheart. So that was awesome. The other shout out too is that then I got a bonus this year of the Arca Menards event twice at Elko, when it was cool spotting for the 99 on Michael Maples as a fill-in. So you can check that video out again if you haven't, but I did a pretty good job with that. My radio transmission spotter sound system is under my bed. But that was really cool to do that, and I'm certainly looking forward to doing that again next season. And then also too, heading off to Iowa, which now here's where it gets really interesting. Here is that these videos have some views on them, and I was hoping to get more on one of them, which would have been the NASCAR Cup Garage. The video count, the view count on that's pretty good. I was just hoping to get a little more likes on that video, but if you haven't checked that one out, certainly take a look at the Xfinity one. Is getting a lot of love. I just like to see the Cup one get some exposure, because I didn't get that garage pass by myself. I had help from that one, getting that video done up like that, how I did, and the circumstances were put into that because in 2013 on my mother's computer on a flash drive, I downloaded the software from the iRacing series, so it avoided me from getting a very expensive simulator with a steering wheel system. I was doing it just with the arrows and the buttons on my mother's computer, and I brought that flash drive to my high school at the time on Wednesdays during open campus block day, and I made darn sure I got everything done for schoolwork wise and I needed to, because I would jam that flash drive into the school computer with the software, and I could run that stuff on Wednesdays on my when there was the season going on. It was always Wednesday for 20 races, so I'd jam that in there and I would run that race wherever track it was, and I would run that track, and I did pretty good at some of them. I did the ones I did at school was Kentucky, was then Talladega, Atlanta. And I do this for the Xfinity series, and I was running the 33 Wizco car, which was the outfit you see me wearing in the garage area that was given to me by the the Richard Childress group because of what I did in iRacing. So they sent me that because I got Rookie of the Year in 2013, and I won 2 late model championships in the ASA iRacing development program for the Northwest Traveling Series on iRacing twice in 2009 and 2012. So because I downloaded the software again for that, and I did really good for the short tracks that I ran on, and it was pretty cool. And I did run Elko, but the closest track I got to that facility was Rockford, and that was fun to run that on iRacing on my mom's computer for the flash drive card when you could download it back in the day. And I did that. So when I got the YouTube channel and stuff, and I got the Bass Pro Shop sponsor that I have, and Gene Coleman Racing Products, iRacing reached out to me on my Gmail account and said, hey, are you going to any major cup races, or are you going to a cup race weekend? I didn't mention this is in, I got this emailed in March of this year, and I said, yeah, I'm going to Iowa this year for the first ever cup race for the inaugural. They're like, oh, we got to send you some stuff then. And they sent me that Richard Childress lanyard with that temporary garage pass. So, and it was temporary. And they said, if you have any problems with that, just email us and let us know, and we could probably take care of it the best to our ability. I said, will do. So, but I walked in there, like you saw the videos, everything was fine. It was off camera. What happened was that I was during practice. And this is different because the cup cars had the enclosed garages, because that was their requirement, is every cup race for enclosed garages. 99% of the time the cup guys have to have that. Xfinity doesn't need to do that. They can either do it with their trailers outside, or they can do it inside the garage stalls. But cup always needs that garage because that's the requirement. ARCA doesn't need it. I mean, if they're the only series there, then they use it, but they're old school too. So they don't really treat Xfinity and ARCA that nicely like they do those cup cars, because I mean, that's the cup series. What do you expect, right? So I was in that zone, and then off camera I walked to the Xfinity side, and I walked to the ARCA garage. There were 18-wheelers were nose to nose, so you could have one side Xfinity, one side ARCA, and I was crisscrossing back and forth between the two. And right when I got down towards the end of it, they started practice for Xfinity. So I was by the Xfinity haulers like if I was at Elko. And then like 15 minutes into it, they would drive back in, and then they would drive back out, because they just had to do some quick adjustments on these Xfinity cars. Well, then it became apparent to me that it got kind of tight quarters in that, and I was like, I don't really think I should be standing in this situation. As I looked at the other side, and I thought, ooh, everybody's standing over there, and I thought, ooh. So I quickly, boom, made a dash over the other side, and then I was going to get my bearings straight, and I was going to walk back to pit road, hang out there for the rest of practice, walk back to the cup site, maybe do another garage interview there, maybe get some few more autographs and some good content for you guys, and then shut the camera off, walk back to pit road, hang there, and then have the ARCA race happen, and I was going to stand right on the grandstands again and shoot it from the inside of the track, and then do whatever after that, and then maybe walk off to the infield and get Victory Lane videos on my phone and have a really good night, right? Well, wrong, because right when I was going to walk to pit road, I hear, excuse me. I turn, very nice looking lady, that was a NASCAR official. She goes, can I see your lanyard? I said, sure. So she pulled on it, so it's buttoned to the color of the shirt. She goes, no problem. She looked at the garage pass, ripped it right off of the lanyard, and I thought, oh, here we go. But the thing about this is I was in there for 5.5 hours. So if I was only in there for 2 seconds and they were to kick me out, I wouldn't have gotten the videos that I did for you guys for that. So, because it's temporary. So I got my stuff out of those haulers. I had some stuff brought in there with me to get autographed, which I got majority of it, and then I got some stuff autographed on Saturday morning. This was all shot Friday during the afternoon time. So I brought the stuff with me. I got, although here's the nice thing though, is I walked into there, and it's a long hike. I walked to the tunnel turn, to then the gate to the garage, and then walking all around in that garage facility. and then I've always walked back out of there. The first time in forever, I finally got, it was nice, the luxury for me, I got golf carted out of there though. So I thought, this saves me a lot of walking distance, and I get our kind of cruising luxury style. And I was bummed a little bit, but if I look at the big picture, I was in there for 5.5 hours. I got this thing documented pretty good. I do have photos on my phone stored on my picture still. I'm going to keep those photos forever. Plus, I got 2 autographs that mean the world to me. One of them I got off of eBay. And you have to look back to 2001 with a certificate of authenticity. Because here's the real deal postcard right here. That's signed by Dale Earnhardt from 2001. And here's the back of it. But that is the real deal signature right there, ladies and gentlemen. And so then to match that one, I got to meet Austin Dillon and talk to him off camera. And I should have done an interview, but I was so in the zone wanting to meet him and talk to him personally that it was a big deal. It was my first time being there. And I did get to touch the 3 car. Oh, and yes, and I did get emotional with the 3 like I knew I would, because I'm a diehard Earnhardt fan and I miss Dale every single day of my life. And the crew loved that passion that I had for that car and the love that I told them about that. And they said, out of all the people that could be here right now for this car, you're the best person to be here for us, for sentimental and for the love that you had for Dale Earnhardt. And they said, you're a perfect fit for us, buddy, and we love your outfit that you have on, plus the matching hat. I said, well, I definitely appreciate that, and can I touch the car? There you go, absolutely. So I touched the back of it, I touched the sides, I touched the front nose. I did take a picture of the back with touching the 3. And I asked Austin Dillon personally, I said, can I sit in the car? He goes, I don't think so, buddy. And I said, well, I can at least get a photo of you with a selfie. He goes, absolutely. And I gave him a hug, and I told him, I said, you're the closest thing I'll ever get to meet the likes of Dale Earnhardt. And he gave me a smile like a Dale Earnhardt have Trisha crack grin, and he said, I definitely love hearing that. And so that was really touching for me. I got that forever, and I was in that garage area though for 5.5 hours. I got a buddy in Menominee, Michigan, my buddy Mike Kangas. I told him about it. He goes, the longest I've been in a Cup garage was 2 hours. You were in there way longer than I would have been, and you were in there kind of illegally, but you weren't on a couch at home, not making those kind of memories that you did when you got off. If like you did getting off whatever you were doing inside your house, and you got to go experience that memory like that, and now you get to keep that forever. I emailed iRacing soon after I got out of the garage. When I got out of the golf cart, I was on the way. I was just texting the CEO of iRacing, and I told him what happened. He said, no problem. And they gave me I have it on the shirt. I'll show it at some point later on, probably next year when we get closer to something. I'm not going to go to Iowa next year. I'm going in 2026. I think I'll show you it then for sure. But I have the Dover Garage Pass from 2024 on April the 6th as a souvenir and as a memento piece for me to get it connected to what happened to me in 2024 for Iowa for the cut. And it is a NASCAR Cup Series legit credential, but it's from Dover. I told Mike, I said, how should I go about this? He goes, whatever you do not alter that garage pass. I said, I was thinking about it, but now that I know, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to keep it as it is. The only time I'm going to do the garage pass then for Iowa is I'm only going to go if the ARCA Series comes into town for Iowa Speedway. If it's just the ARCA cars, then I'll be good. Because here's the thing about ARCA, is that they're more low key. They're low. They're less maintenance. They're kind of low strung because they're running outdated cars from 10 years ago. So the rules are more are more passive, or like are more freely and more touchy feely. So they're kind of like laid back. Like you could pretty much do whatever as long as you don't do anything that you shouldn't be doing, like something illegal. So yeah, so you just gotta. So yeah, so you just gotta. You can pretty much do whatever. You just can't do anything that you shouldn't be doing. But truth, logic, common sense put into place, right? So yeah, ARCA, I'm down for whatever for that one, so I'm good. If it's a Cup race weekend plus ARCA, that ain't gonna fly for me anymore. So this is probably the only time you'll ever see. What you got for what I got for the garage interviews for Iowa, that is as good as I'm probably gonna get it now for the rest of my life. So I don't think I'll ever make a garage pass or a garage move that big ever again in my life. And I think that is the only thing I got now to that is that 2024 move. And it's kind of big for me because I was 20 years ago in 2004. Dale Jr. won his first Daytona 500, and I was 8, and that was when I was starting to want to do something big, like get into the garage, and that's when my heart and soul was really there for stuff like that. When Talladega Nights came out in 2006, and I saw the movie with the camaraderie in the garage area at Talladega and Lowe's Motor Speedway, even though it was a movie, it's the same atmosphere. And I was like, man, I kill to do stuff like that. So now for me to finally live that this year at Iowa Speedway, it kind of came full circle for me. It's like, this is what I wanted as a kid. This gives me the vibe of Talladega Nights with being Ricky Bobby's kids and kind of hanging out with this group of bunches and also too to take in these cars because they're a lot cooler in person than what you get on TV, because TV doesn't do these cars justice like you do in the phone on my camera when you're up close and touchy-feely with them. And I touched every Cup car in the garage except for 2. It was the 45 of Darrell Willis Jr. and the 11 of Denny Hamlin. There's no way I was going to touch both of those cars. Everybody else was free game. So I touched every single Cup car out of the whole field except for 2 because I can't stand those 2 guys. And so, but I got to do that. I touched every single Xfinity car. I didn't get a smooch up to the ARCA cars there that day, but however, I knew I was going to get it at Elko, and I did that day. So I got redemption on that, but Xfinity was great. I finally got to give love to the 8 car for Junior Motorsports. The team loved me. Same for the Childress team of the Xfinity side. And I felt like the king of the world out there for just a minute. And I was just wondering how long this was going to take me, but it took 5.5 hours for me to lift that up as best as I could before I got the boot by accident, though, just being on the wrong side in the Xfinity garage, which is not that bad. So that is one I'll never forget. That was probably the coolest video I ever shot this year. And if I look at 2024 as a whole, this was probably hands down the best season I ever had as a race fan. Given the fact that I'm never going to come down from cloud 10 million ever again, because I got to see something that I always wanted to get when I was a kid with the Cup Series. And I got it recorded on my freaking YouTube channel. Are you kidding me? I get to relive that every single day of my life now. And I get Austin Dillon's autograph on top of it. And even though I got it kicked out, nobody's going to throw that gear away from me. And I was allowed to keep all that stuff. And, And I knew I was going to get emotional talking about this because it was really a big deal for me. And I freaking love that 3 car a lot. And now to say that I get both of these autographs, these are my 2 heroes. I never got to meet Dale. I had a really lucky day on eBay, but Austin Dillon, and I actually got to meet Ty before off camera, and before they even had the YouTube channel. I met him in 2016 and 2015 when he would run the Xfinity Series out there. And this is the first time I ever got to meet Austin Dillon, and I congratulated him on his 2018 Daytona 500 20 years after Dale Earnhardt got it. So I talked a lot of Earnhardt with Austin Dillon, and he loved that. And I was balancing his career with the 3 for him and Dale Earnhardt, and it was really cool talking back and forth with him about it, because he was cool with me doing that because he saw the outfit and he loved the Wisco gear that I had on with the matching hat. And I said, you and your brother look good those years driving the Wisco, whether it had the 33 or 3 on it for that team for RCR. And I said, I look up to your grandfather with high regard, and he loved hearing that. And I said, I put RC on a good pedestal out here, and I respect this team a lot. And even told him, I said, my birthday is on March 8th at 3/8, and he goes, that's pretty cool. And I said, if you guys were to park these cars correctly, you would have got my birthday date right, except it says 8/3 out here. He goes, yeah. He was like, it's all good though. I said, yep, it's just in reverse, but it's still the same vibe. But I got to hang out with Kyle Busch's number 8 car too, and I never was a Kyle Busch fan, but that 8 car looked really good, and I got a video of it on my YouTube channel. That's why, if you watch the video, I backtracked looking for the 8, and I did get it on the video. So that was really cool. Austin's car at the time when I recorded it, it was in the garage, but you could still see the back of it. But it was pretty awesome. And if you look inside too, you can see the winner of Ryan Blaney's car sitting in the garage area there. But so yeah, so then Saturday rolls around. It looked kind of iffy for rain. We should have stayed. We didn't stay because we thought it was going to wash out. Well, I did get to meet Sam Mayer. I got his autograph down here because I met him on Saturday. For the heck of it, let's see here. Yeah. Here's your Xfinity winner, Sam Mayer. I got his autograph on Saturday. So then here's the back of that postcard. And then here's the other thing too, is that then I got another good day on eBay, because I bought Ty Dillon's Wisco postcard that matched my outfit that iRacing gave me. So now I got it matched, and I have the diecast card down here. And then I also have Austin. So now I got both brothers with the outfit and the 3 card. And the one thing too that kind of a little bit bows me out says get ethanol on it. That's alright, but my favorite American ethanol paint scheme was the one Austin ran 10 years ago in the first with the first chase of the Cup with the playoff format, with eliminating 16 down to 4 when they all had the yellow roof numbers and the yellow name banner and then the yellow splitter on the front of the car. But in Michigan in August of 2014, that's when Austin ran the American Ethanol number 3 car in 2014 when it was his rookie. That was a very pretty car. If you look up the 2014 one, I'm sure a lot of you diehards out there would consider that Chevy SS looks pretty cool. It has a little bit better American Ethanol paint scheme than the Get Ethanol car, but I told Austin, I said, I like your 3, but it's not as cool as it was in 2014. He goes, yeah, he goes, I can kind of see that a bit. And and I said, talking to you for a little bit as a kind of a diehard you are, I can kind of see you saying that. And I said, yep. So he kind of got the vibe too. It was pretty sweet. And then I also too got Will Brown's 33 postcard too, so it was pretty sweet. And then of course I didn't get an autograph, but I also had to get Kyle Busch's 8 car. And then also got the 62 here of Anthony Alfredo. So that's pretty awesome. So I do like that. And there was one other one. Let me see here. Oh yeah. And since this is Stewart-Haas's last year, it was kind of weird seeing the sponsor on a Ford, but I do have to shout this out because they do sponsor my channel. It's just weird seeing the sponsor on a Ford, but I have to give Noah Gragson a shout out for Stewart-Haas for their last hurrah, and Bass Pro Shops. Thanks again, you guys, and I had to get this, no doubt. And I got it for the sponsor and for the driver, and not the car manufacturer. Mike Kangas was my buddy Mike is a Alan Kowicki fan, and I said, "Are you a Chevrolet guy?" He goes, "Well, Alan drove ASA Racing Series in a Chevrolet, and he drove Ford and Cup. And when you're a Chevrolet guy and your driver drives a Ford, you root for the driver and the number 7, but you do not root for the Ford manufacturer." I said to him, can I try doing that? He goes, if there's a situation you come into, call me up and talk, and we'll talk to you about it and help you out as best as I can with it. And that's as close as and that's it for me right there. So now I understand what Mike's talking about when you root for the sponsor, the number, and the car, and then the owner of the series for Stewart-Haas, but you can't stand the Ford. So yep. So that's it for me right there. So I do have a love-hate relationship with this one, but I got it too for the fact that Stewart-Haas is going away next year, and I'm really glad to see that that the 21 will be driven by Josh Berry next year, because Harrison Burton is going to be out of the ride. So that'll be very interesting to see Josh, how he does with the Wood Brothers next year. And I'm glad that I was even talking to Josh, had him autograph a diecast card for me, and I said I hope that. I'll say a prayer for you guys for next season. He goes, I appreciate it, Connor. He goes, I'm glad to see you out here. And I said, you too, Josh. And he goes, I remember you from 2016. I said, yeah, you do, because I got in here for free without a garage pass, and the year before I made my YouTube channel. And that did happen. So that was pretty cool. So I met Josh twice in my life when he was driving the 88 car for Sun Energy 1 at Iowa, and he got 9th in that Xfinity race for Dale Junior Motorsports. And then I see him drive Kevin Harvick's 4 car. And if this was the Cup season last year, I could have talked to Earnhardt to Kevin Harvick, and how cool that would have been, and what a view I would have got on that one. And I did get to meet Joey Logano on Saturday, and pulling up now my my gear here a little bit. Let's see here. Have to go a little bit ways down here. So now this comes full circle. We kick it to 2004 for the ASA Racing Series. And I brought this book with me to Iowa Speedway because I wanted one driver so far to autograph this. It's Kevin Sawinski. If I do ever meet him again at some point, I will have him be the second guy to autograph this. The second guy to autograph this. And let me see. Oh, that's right. That postcard's down in here. So, this was really cool and comes full circle, and this driver got his mind blown when I had him autograph this at Iowa on Saturday. So they were doing a driver PR meeting on the stage right outside the grandstands, and it was Joey Logano. And so I was by the side of the fence where the sound stage kind of was set up for the speaker mics and all that, and the other side was open. And so I'm sitting there, and they're doing their show out there for media. It was media day on Saturday morning for racing, and they were talking to Joe Logano about his season, how it's going, and then talking about the chase and how he's going to try to maybe hopefully make it and try to run well for the rest of the season before the chase to get starting. Because this was in July, so it was getting kind of midpoint for the season before the chase started going, and so I'm just sitting there with a few other guys that we were just talking racing. They were loving my outfit, and they loved the garage pass. I had a second one, so I just threw that on just for show, the same temporary one that I had, and even though I ripped it off, I had another one, so I was wearing that for show, and a lot of people I was showing everybody the pictures I took on Friday, and they were like, holy smokes, that is so cool, and man, you got more than we got. So I was like, yeah, kind of, sort of. So I felt like king of the house out there, so I was playing with house money, which is really cool. And so I felt like a really big shot out there, which I was, and I still am, so it was pretty cool. And I told them that I got kicked out there within 5 hours, and they're like, what, you were in there 5.5 hours and you got kicked out? Are you bummed? No way, because I got and like, yeah, that's right, you got the documentation, you got the autographs, you're good, right? I said, I'm probably good for the rest of my life. And so this guy turns and he looks at me, and I got this book, and I show him a postcard, and he's like, where did you get that? I said, well, Joey Logano 20 years ago ran ASA, and this is the very first car he ever drove in 2004. He goes, yeah, it is. He goes, you want him to autograph that? I said, yes, I do. He goes, you stand right here, and I'm going to talk to you more before the show ends. And I'm Joey Logano's PR guy. I'm like, okay. So as the show keeps going on and it's starting to get wound down, the guy sees me again, and he goes, all right, come with me. So I walk backstage and keep walking with him, and we're passing a lot of other media stuff, and then they got like trailers back there and small little carts and stuff like that. And he goes, you see that golf cart over there by that entrance gate? So yeah, he goes, you stand right in front of that golf cart. Joey Logano's going to come down to the right side of the stage here and just stand right there and show him the stuff and have him autograph it for you. Perfect. So I pulled out my black Sharpie. I had 10 people behind me that I didn't know that were there until I turned around. But I was there before kind of everybody else showed up, but I was the first one there, and then people behind me started showing up because they were wanting to get Joey's autograph too, but I was first. And so Joey comes down, and I show him the book, and his expression was like, he looked at me like that, like, what? And so he comes up and he goes, where did you get that? I said, I got this off of eBay this year. He's like, are you kidding me? I said, I am not. And he autographed it. And so that was the first and only autograph from 2004. He was 16 years old 20 years ago, if you guys can believe that. And I got Joey, your two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, your 2015 Daytona 500 winner, and I got him to autograph his 2004 Monte Carlo. And that is his very first rookie car when he was 16 in the inaugural season of the NASCAR Nextel Cup. And I was the only person there with this gear when everybody else had their NASCAR up-to-date gear, but I was the only one there with the OG 2004, and he loved the photo. He's like, holy smokes, dude, that is really cool. And he goes, I can't believe you got that off of eBay. I said, neither can I. So, and if you look at the 38, it reminds me of Casey Kane and Jason Leffler with the Grey Clips car. Even Christian Elder had the same one. So, that brings it full circle 20 years right there for me for being an OG racing fan. And to get this gear like I got this year, like I said, I'm never coming down from cloud 10 million ever again. And am I bummed about being kicked out of the garage? Nope. So that's pretty sweet to say, and I'm looking forward, and you guys can post all the comments you want, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we got on here, and seeing your guys. I'm looking forward to the reactions you guys have on this one, because 2024, like I said, this was the best season I could ever wish and ask for, and I'm glad that I could bring you guys along and get this documented of a right to end out the season like this in style. So see you guys in the next video at some point.